For more than 60 years, John Mull's Meats has been a carnivore's institution, serving quality meats and barbecue. And now they're steering in a whole new generation in this unlikely location tucked away on Tom Boulevard. From the butcher shop to the slow smoke barbecue, if you want to grab lunch or a few pounds to fill your freezer, John Mull's Meats and the companion business, the Roadkill Grill, is a one-stop local meat emporium.
We've been in Vegas since 1954.
Chuck Fromer is John Mull's grandson and the longtime owner. And you could say that the meat business is in his blood.
I'm actually third generation, but it's kind of funny because I actually purchased it in 1981, so I've owned it just about 40 years. So the three prior owners, which would be my grandfather, my dad, and my uncle, if you added them all up, they're probably about the same number of years that I've had it. So I mean, it's still a family business.
The COVID-19 catastrophe has taken a big bite out of the beef industry across the country. But this place has chicken, pork, sausage, and more. The COVID pandemic created an economic pandemonium around here.
When they first announced the virus and they shut down the casinos, our volumes on individual orders were phenomenal. I mean, we were doing orders of 200 and 300 pounds at a time. The average homeowner went from buying $65 worth of meat per week or every 2 weeks, they went to about $350 a week. So that, as far as the revenue, was fantastic. As far as the cuts of meat that they selected, we noticed that they purchased much more chicken than they did, say, steaks or better cuts. You know, they bought a lot of hamburger.
Chuck is able to keep all his workers employed, butchering, smoking, and handling every part of the takeout business. The Roadkill Grill has a second location at the Clark County Shooting Complex. The state-mandated shutdown of the shooting facility required Fromer to temporarily shutter that barbecue joint.
We actually had to shut down the second location because it's on a county facility. So we've taken those employees and either integrate them in here or we've continued to pay them. For the first 2 weeks, we paid the employees at the other location just to clean because we didn't know how long this was going to last. And then naturally they've extended the time period, so we've kept them employed down at this location. So we're trying to keep everybody employed. We're trying not to let anybody go.
Judy Porter is a faithful supporter of John Mull's products for more than 10 years. She usually purchases a bulk supply of chicken that lasts for months and is doubling down during the pandemic.
You got to support local, no matter, even if we weren't in the middle of a crisis and a virus. Support local. Those are our neighbors. This is where we live. Without our locals, I don't think we would have a city that's great as it is.
Midday is probably the busiest time of the day down here at the ranch, with a steady stream of customers keeping their social distance while awaiting their products.
I've been coming here for like 8 years.
Kendall Carter was picking up a late lunch with leftovers for dinner for the family.
I ordered some ribs, chicken, pulled pork, some greens, macaroni and cheese, baked beans.
You're a hungry guy.
I'm a hungry guy. It's for my wife and my kids and family.
Over the years, this family business has survived a few other disasters, one self-inflicted and another from the fickle fate of Mother Nature.
Well, I've never seen anything as drastic as this, but in the course of 40 years, I've actually I've burned the building down once and rebuilt it, and we got flooded out in 2003 just by a freak flash flood that literally cost us everything. I mean, it was just ironic.
And trying to ground Chuck on selecting just one favorite meat is as tricky as tackling a bull by its horns.
Today, my favorite's the burn ends. That's because I was working on them when you guys showed up. But I mean, honestly, you know, every day changes. I mean, one day I like the ribs, and the next day I like the burn ends. The next day I like pulled pork. On Tuesdays and Thursdays we make tri-tip, and so, you know, that's always a treat. Every day it changes though, you know, it's your taste buds.